file photo doesn't do her justice.
Binary Domain is Gears of War Twin, not a clone, because it's so good that it stands on its own. It's a shooter where the cover system and gunplay work well. Moving around or over the cover is smooth, which is essentially because you will use covers in almost every combat scenario to stay alive. I won't go to spoilers, as the game's story is so good when experienced yourself. The overall story of the game is that it's year 2080. Robots are commonly used to support human lives. The story follows a group known as the Rust Crew, who are tasked with infiltrating Tokyo to investigate the Amada Robotics Corporation. They are suspected of creating human-like robots called Hollow Children. These robots are built like Terminators with machines inside and skin on the outside, difference being that they all think they are human until proven otherwise. Gunplay is satisfying. You carry your main weapon from start to finish and use secondary weapons dropped by enemies or bought by vending machines. You can also purchase passive perks that boost your defenses or offenses. This can also be given to your partners. More importantly, you can purchase upgrades to you or your team's weapons, not unlike the Resident Evil games. What you are shooting is ton of robots. These robots work like necromorphs, parts needs to be destroyed or they will crawl around or still act while only using half of them. This makes the gunplay feel very visceral and satisfying. Sadly, if you're using keyboard and mouse, you will need to tweak mouse acceleration by adding the file to a game folder to make the mouse act normally. There is no option in the game itself. With AI teammates there is a trust system where group members' relationships are tracked. For example, minor things like friendly fire can cause friends to dislike you. You can also talk with your party members using dialogue choices similar to Mass Effect, making them either like or dislike you and continue relationships dynamically over the game. These relationships then affect the ending and how characters behave towards you during the game. In many situations you need to select your group members and you almost always have at least one with you. These are great moments to either bond or break the bond you already have. These also have slight changes to cutscenes depending on your teammates. Level design is also superb. Every area is individually crafted, from car factories, slums, high society cities, jet ski water levels, high-speed driving levels, train levels, office buildings, etc. Many of these end in unique and often large robot boss fights.
Monsieur, we can return to the interior through here. Shut up!
Go right ahead.
Visually it's basic Xbox 360 era game. At its worst, it honestly looks like a part-jumping game. At its best though, it has a ton of particles and physics-based scrap metal from the robots, and those times it looks visually pretty good for the time. Voice acting and writing are a bit goofy in a good way, with many languages accent present. A lot of effort was clearly put into voice delivery and facial animations. It reminds me a bit of older Resident Evil and Devil May Cry games, so basically action writing for Americans. Overall, the game's visuals and audio are fine, but it doesn't take away how awesome the game is. It honestly is a somewhat overlooked game.
Professor, it does not seem to go in our favor!